Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. Fanspeak. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Degen Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.
Welcome back to another Talking Ball Lunch Break Hours Steve-O Speak. And yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. UDFA 3 is going on. The draft is, less than a week away. And yeah, we hit our 1,000 sub goal. We got there. We are so excited, so happy. It happened last night on stream for a sibling showdown, which is really cool. Big shout out to the Toxic Tower guys. They did a chat raid that really helped us out. So just really, really excited. We have a lot planned. We have a 24-hour live stream coming in early May, May 15th to 16th. We also are going to do a giveaway on our Sunday night show with Meg and I for our loyal members this week, and probably some other giveaways when we get to the 24-hour live stream. So we're really excited. We want to thank you all so much for being a part of this journey, helping us out every which way, subbing, liking, watching, drafting with us, of course, getting those Fanspeak memberships, Substack memberships, even joining our free Discord. It all helps. We appreciate it. And just want to thank everyone again so much. We're going to get into it. I, of course, am in slow draft hell, as one can imagine, with these UDFAs and some big boards. So we'll do a couple UDFAs. Probably won't really multi-table because I'll be kind of multi-tabling with slows at the same time. Because we are in UDFA 3. And before we get into that, I wanted to go over the topic of the day, and that is the pocket passer versus the more dynamic passer. The first one I think we can really point to, and he's kind of a little bit more borderline, and that's Dak Prescott. Back in, years ago, we're talking like Dak would have like 400 to 600 yards, 6-7 touchdowns. He had a lot of more rushing production. Last year, a full year, as we see with these attempts, 2 of these are only partial years. But he's just running less. He's not a total zero like a couple guys, but we can only expect, that's 17, 18 points, that's 12 points, that's 30 points. That's very, not a ton. Like I said, it's not a stone zero, but it's probably like his ceiling is this 24 and 2, really. You get lucked out with the 3, and there's plenty of these guys. Like there was a year, it was either Cousins last year and maybe first year with the Vikings. He had like 7 rushing touchdowns. You will get guys like that, who pop up for more touchdowns. So touchdowns can be a little flukier. But Dak is just the first guy that we're taking that we really cannot expect any sort of even moderate rushing production. He's not a total zero, but it is something to note. And the next guy is a guy who actually we have been counting on a lot of rushing production in recent years, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Just coming off the injury, he has had a minimum of like 38 points, this 39 points essentially. If you go back further, Hooney and I talked about this the other day, and he's 302 just about every year. Some years a little bit more touchdowns, some years a little bit more rushing yards. Last year, keep in mind, that was in 14 games, actually like 13 and a half games. So he had one of his best rushing years, but unfortunately, I don't think we can expect that this year. But then we kind of get into the window that we're really talking about. And these are the guys that, Mahomes might kind of be in the Dak mode of 150-ish yards, 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns if we get lucky. The next couple of guys are guys that are much more pocket only, and that's Stafford and Goff. And this is where I do think there is some interesting value. Yes, they have to do, Goff is a better example, but passing touchdowns are going to be so key. Yes, Stafford also led in passing yards. That was a big help as well. But we are going to need, 35, 40 passing touchdowns. The 46 is probably unlikely to occur again, at least for Stafford. And, so I'm not expecting him to have 358 points, but 320, somewhere in that ballpark, that's kind of the high water mark we should be looking for. Jared Goff is in the same department, and this is what I'm talking about. Goff is Mr. Consistent, at least 4,500 yards, or at least 4,400 yards, 29 or more touchdowns these last 4 years. Super consistent. This one year we got lucky with 2 rushing touchdowns as well. But as we can see, we really can't count on more than a handful of rushing points. So he's got to be throwing for 30 plus touchdowns, got to be throwing for essentially 4,500 yards. But if so, we see pretty consistent scores, 290, 303. And that was with the two rushing touchdowns. He actually had more these last 2 years with 0 rushing touchdowns, just because he threw more, enough. His yards were essentially the same. It was his passing touchdowns that really helped. And last year he had more fumbles, so that worked against him in his higher end of points. But I think he's one of the more consistent guys. I've also talked about it in recent years. The lines were have been very running balanced. They had 21 rushing touchdowns last year. I have a tough time believing without Montgomery that they maintain that level. I mean, they'll still be up there, I'm sure, but I don't think they're going to be getting 21 rushing touchdowns. So, that might force Goff to be what Stafford was last year, like throw for 40 plus touchdowns. That's why I do think he's one of the best kind of values here, because his floor, if we get a floor year from him, which, kind of last year, even the 290, I think we're fine taking him as QB 16. And if we get a ceiling year, kind of what Stafford did last year, then, it is a massive, massive value. So, you have some other guys like the Bakers. Even Jordan Love does not run as much as we expect. He did 2 years ago, his year that he was really good, but he missed 2 games in 2024, but he just wasn't running. Last year he missed 2 games as well. Really little rushing. So he's actually more in like the Dak side of things. Like maybe we get 150 and 2, something like that. Wouldn't expect much more. Baker's a little bit better. Just back-to-back years, 300 plus yards. Again, touchdowns are going to be fluky. And Sam Darnold and Stroud are the next 2 that we really can't count on a lot of rushing production. Now with the Vikings, Darnold ran pretty well, 212. Again, not focused so much on the touchdowns with these types of guys, but he had less than half of that last year with Seattle. Probably it's somewhere in between, but not a big factor. And Stroud is the same way. He's a little bit more in the 200 yard range, but they just don't use him around the red zone. Just 4 career rushing touchdowns, not something we can really count on at all. I expect Daniel Jones will kind of be like Mahomes, rushing a lot less. So these 5 touchdowns, 200 plus yards. I mean, the 707 is just there's no way, not coming off this injury. Not when you have Jonathan Taylor. So Cam Ward is maybe more in the Baker camp. We'll see what he is in year 2. He's got a little bit more mobility. Bryce Young kind of the same way. So then it brings us to the guys at the end here. Mendoza can be in that 250 plus range, but he's probably splitting the role. And it's Geno, Tua, Aaron Rodgers, and Shador Sanders if we're going down that far. Of these, Geno probably has the best rushing outlook, but it's not great. When he first took over for Seattle, it was kind of in that Mahomes-esque, but it's been downhill ever since. I mean, 272, that would be fantastic, but I just think it's tougher to count on for Geno at his age. And yeah, Tua and Aaron Rodgers just aren't going to do it. But that being said, if they play all year, they can still return value. Now, the 233 isn't great, but if he's at that 267, 251, his last year in Green Bay, and that was not his MVP year. 270, we should expect more with Mike McCarthy. We should expect more with these weapons. Is he going to crack 300? Probably not. But can he get 275, 280? Yeah, I think that's reasonable. We've seen that, Tua, when he, his one healthy year with with Mike McDaniel, that's what it was, 284. And he didn't crack 30 touchdowns. So we need Tua to stay healthy. That's why Rodgers is probably the best of these. As Meg says, he doesn't have the bench risk. He, is probably in the best offense of these three, of course, and doesn't even have the same injury risk like Tua has. So let me get into chat now, and then we'll get into some drafts. How many shots did you and Meg take after the stream? I didn't take any. Not sure if she did, but it was definitely enjoyable. We talked after the stream, and it was fun. Still need to buy some champagne to celebrate. Got Megan here, checking in, of course. Peanut, thank you so much. Great to see you hit that milestone. Your hard work is appreciated. Absolutely, thank you. Appreciate you guys so much. Goats Cards, as Meg says, or go Arizona Cards. Charles, good to see you. Good afternoon. Hartman in here. Mike Rob, imagine how quick you would have hit 1K if you did 3 buttons and done more often. We got GAB in here. Best Ball fam, it's TGIF Friday. Best of luck in these streets. Absolutely. We'll get into the draft soon. Crossface, S. Appreciate you guys. Feels like the Moneyball concept. They aren't sexy, but at ADP in this quarterback market, some of these guys get slept on for their perceived lack of upside. And yeah, when we're talking best ball, like an Aaron Rodgers, even a Goff, like now Stafford's the exception, because normally I say these guys have no shot at top 5. Stafford did last year. And some of that was so many quarterback injuries, particularly to rushing quarterbacks. And I think the other thing is, there's more of these guys, the tweeners who have a better outlook. We saw that with Baker, had back-to-back top 10 years the 2 years prior. We know Dak. Like when Dak is healthy, Dak is a top 5 quarterback. And he gets a little bit more in the rushing game. And that probably is the difference between him being top 5 and non-top 5. But I do agree, like their ADPs, because we are so worried about total points, and even like, yes, do they have as good of a chance for like a 35-40 point game? No, not typically. They will have some 30-point games. They will have some 35. We have seen before where they have 40-point games. A couple years ago, the year Pat Crane won, Tom Brady had like a 40-point game. He actually had a rushing touchdown that helped seal that, but he threw for 5 touchdowns or 6 touchdowns, whatever it was. Those games do occur. They are few or far between, but what they offer is a very strong floor. And when we're trying to make sure that we're advancing, and particularly when we get into like these smaller pod contests, you could get into these 1 of 5s, and there's not a single, Josh Allen team. There's not a single Lamar team. There's not a single Jalen Hurts team. And, let's say those are the top 3 quarterbacks. So, yeah, you could end up with, Jared Goff, Cam Ward, and Aaron Rodgers. And if one of those they don't have to necessarily be quarterback 1 for you to advance. Meg, 2 years ago, in her pod for the Bulldog, had Aaron Rodgers. He had a 30-point game, and it was a very high-scoring quarterback week. This was week 15. It was a very high-scoring quarterback week. That was the week Josh Allen and Jared Goff, so both the dual threat and the pocket passer, had Allen was like 45, Jared Goff was like 42. Both had ridiculous games. And then I think Lamar had like a 35-point game. I think maybe Jaden Daniels had like a 30. I don't know if Rodgers was like 4th or 5th among quarterbacks. I remember that. And Meg still advanced. And it was like a 2 of 10, I think. But the point being is, it's just you need somebody in the ballpark. This past year, Trevor Lawrence was the week 15 guy. Brock Purdy had a very good game. I think Purdy was 3rd. And you need Purdy down the stretch. So that's kind of something I like to keep in mind, is these guys, they don't have the ultimate ceilings, but they can have pretty solid, consistent production. A, that helps get you to the playoffs. B, that can be enough. Like they can get in the top 5. and push you through a week. Now, is it a little different when you're in like maybe BBM and it's like 1 to 13, 1 to 16? Yeah, that's going to be a little tougher because you're probably not dodging all those guys. Like there might be, in that case, now granted Jared Goff was just as good, but let's say if it had been Goff, Lamar, and Jane Daniels, there might have been 2 of each. And so now, like having somebody else might not be enough. But in most tournaments, I think we should prioritize these guys just because their ADP value is good. Now, I also like mixing in a rusher, a guy like a Kyler Murray, a guy like Malik Willis, because I think their prices relative to their spike upside is fair. But yeah, I think we sometimes devalue those guys just a bit too much for what they can bring to the table. Sorry, I know that was a little bit of a rant there. Let me go. Paul saying, Cam Ward looks so good when he runs, but he seems to hate doing it. Yeah, that's what I wonder if, Brian Dable had no issue running his quarterback last year, and with Daniel Jones. Like when Brian Dable has seen a quarterback use his legs, he does it. So my kind of hope is Brian Dable, works on this part of the game, but we'll see. Esther, I know this is off topic, but why is Tuten falling down the board? I haven't drafted a few weeks, but it seems like he's consistently going 20 spots after his ADP. I think there's just been some, I don't know, necessarily beat writers or just some more thought that Tuten just doesn't have the role locked down that people think. This is not to say Tuten can't return value or Tuten can't be good, but it's very likely. My worry for Tuten is he's the between the 20s runner, in more between the 10s, but inside the 10, inside the 5, it's going to be Chris Rodriguez, your hammer. It's going to be LaQuinn Allen on passing downs, and so that just creates a very narrow window for Tuten to really return value. And if it's a 3-man backfield split, it's even harder for him to have like a spike week. Even if he has like a 40-yard touchdown run and 80 total yards, that's 14 points. That's a fine week, but that's not a great week. And, for that kind of guy, that kind of ADP, I think we want it more to be a 2-man backfield. And it's just looking, I think, more and more to be a 3-man backfield. And I think people don't know what to do. Now, could Tuten still, have this really strong second year and be the guy? Yeah. But I think it's probably right for him falling. Yeah. And I think you're on the same page with that. We had 0 in here. You need more Jordan Love stack, Steve. Yeah, I probably do. Danimal, good to see you. Appreciate that. The opportunity cost of Josh Allen is ETN versus Monty, basically. Yeah, that's a good, fair point. And, like taking Allen early, you're losing another premier running back or potentially receiver, and definitely one of the elite tight ends. Particularly, I think after BBM, we could see some of those elites fall a little bit. And, I wouldn't be surprised if Bowers and McBride fall closer to Allen's ADP, maybe more both in the mid to late 20s. So, yeah, you're kind of making that decision. Now, I probably would take Allen over the tight end, just because I want most of my high capital to be on good offenses. And we know with Josh Allen, it's a great offense. They've been like top 5 the last 5 years. So I'm with you on that versus tight end, but you do have to wonder, is it worth, like you said, a chain versus the David Montgomery type or the Ramondre Stevenson. That can be the tough decision. All right, let me jump in. We'll keep talking about this, but let's jump into a draft here. Let me get this going. I'm going to count it down, and I will enter in, UDF3. This is the exact same as UDF2. So don't need to really go over it. I'm going to count it down, airing in 10 seconds, airing in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. All right, we got it filled. So let me get back to chat while I wait. Feels pretty low. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm a little lower on Allen. I meant to update my BBO percentages, but I'm probably thinking about 7% now. The issue for me is it's just like that Lamar, May, Caleb, Jaden Hurts window is just so good. And I do want to mix it up some. And yeah, I think fading Josh Allen is a bad call. He's been way too consistent. All right, I'm in the 1 hole. Young Mula is in the 4, Legion in the 5, Crossface in the 6, Danimal in the 10. If I'm missing anyone's name, let me know. And we will get this started, and I'll just take Bijan. I take Bijan and Gibbs pretty much every time in the 1 spot, but I have more Gibbs just, overall. So let's just, when I can, I'm just going to try and even that up. And I get it. Like, Gibbs is on the better offense, but Bijan also just almost set a yardage record. And while I question the Falcons' offense, it could be better than last year. Like that is, potentially likely. All right, here, let me go to the board. Good, Stephen WC, GM everyone. GB, I can't say that I know about Tuten's roles, but I think I also think, what can beat writers really know at this point about the process of a player's role? No, and that's the camp battle is going to decide this. I just think Tuten didn't have a great rookie year. Yes, he had 5 touchdowns, which was nice, but it was like his yards per carry were low. I think the problem with Tuten is them signing Chris Rodriguez to, a little bit of real money there. And Chris Rodriguez's history with Liam Cohen, as well as Chris Rodriguez has actually, not even just last year with Washington, but even his other cups of coffee with Washington, he's actually played pretty well. He has 0 passing role himself, 0. Problem is Tuten doesn't really do that too well either. And that goes back to college. He's had a lot of drops. Like, he gets a screen and it's well blocked, he has the speed to take it the distance, or have a big chunk play. We saw that a couple times last year with the Jags. We saw that a couple times in college, but he's just not a natural pass catching back by any stretch of the imagination. And the reality is, LaQuint Allen, why LaQuint Allen had more snaps than him last year, is LaQuint Allen's a very good pass blocker, much better receiving back. Now, A-Chain was their clear top receiving back last year. If Tuten can take that role, that would help him a lot. I just don't know if he can, to be honest. And if so, like, are they going to expand LaQuint Allen's role? But to just give some context, Chris Rodriguez, in his 3 years in Washington, first year as a rookie, 51 carries, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 4.8 yards per carry. Second year, 35 carries, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4.9 yards per carry. And last year, 112 carries, 500 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4.5 yards per carry. So he's actually been really effective in the NFL every time he's been given opportunity. Those are small samples until last year, no doubt about it. But he's had a couple games, where he's had to take on a larger role, even before last year. And it's not just that. It's, of course, Liam Cohen. When they were together in Kentucky, it was Chris Rodriguez had a monster college season with Liam Cohen. right. I think I'd do the Pickens Collins. I mean, definitely have this combo. No need to get too crazy. In this one, I haven't done as much recently just because I have been trying to mix things up a little bit more. But why not do an Old Faithful? Go to the board and then get back to chat. I'm up on about 15 slows, so that's fun that are under an hour. But let's see. Yes, GMO. Bukowski, afternoon, Steve. Thank you. Tuten is fully projection based, even more so than Bucky was. Yeah, no, 100%. Because like there was a perception, I think, because he did get 5 touchdowns, and there was like 1 or 2 games the Jaguars tried it, where they tried Tuten to be more of the short yardage role. It actually didn't work well, and they didn't stick with it, which also is telling. Because Tuten is the bigger back than A-Chain, and I think they were just trying to find a way to carve out a niche, after they trade away Tank Bigsby. And A-Chain still had, I want to say it was like 54% of snaps, and I think even more of carries inside the 5, and then inside the 10 was like 60 some. Like they clearly trusted him more. Were there a couple times where A-Chain would have a big run or a big catch, and they pull him out and put in Tuten? Yeah. But generally speaking, it was more like a clear backup role, which is fine. You can create points that way. You can create value that way. Now he has to fill a bigger role. I think skill drafters like us can make up slight inefficiency for 19 other runs. No, I mean, I don't disagree with that. The floor ceiling combo of Josh Allen is as high as it gets. He can be quarterback 1, and his floor is probably quarterback 4. Yes, I mean, pray to God, no injuries, but he's been remarkably healthy, and he's just been so consistent in that regard. And honestly, this is the first time in a couple of years he's had like a good receiving weapon, and that could even continue to improve. And the other thing, and I'm writing a coaching article. Hold on, I'm actually going to make a pick here. I'm going to do a Hendo. And speaking of Josh Allen's weapons, let's take DJ Moore. I'm sure I'm pissing off whoever got Josh Allen, but I don't care. I want pieces of this offense. Getting good offenses is usually a recipe for success. Joe Brady has been the offense coordinator the last couple of years, and the Bills have been more run heavy. And I think some of that was, of course, them losing receivers, namely Steph Diggs, but Gabe Davis as well. And it was I also wonder how much of it was Sean McDermott. Could Joe Brady open up this offense a little bit more? Yeah, I think he could. Do I think they're going to lead the league in passing? No. I think we could see Josh Allen's passing numbers go up a little bit. Allen is the quarterback who could lead in rushing points, especially with his goal line touchdown role among quarterbacks, and he can lead in passing points. Like, he has that ability. Honestly, I don't think anyone else has that ability. Like Lamar, generally they don't have enough volume for him to do the passing side, and he hasn't been as big of a touchdown guy. Now he's got the combination factor. Like him, Jane Daniels had the combination factor to be very high. But Allen has that. But he could theoretically dual lead in both rushing and passing touchdowns. Now that would probably be the detriment at that point of James Cook, because usually it's kind of one or the other. But he's one of the best throwing quarterbacks and one of the best rushing quarterbacks, and he's also just been remarkably healthy. So I'm with you on that. I'm kind of hoping I'd love to see his price get closer to Lamar. Like, I'll have more if the other quarterbacks come up. I'll definitely even have more Allen. Mostly talking about Allen faders. 48% is enough. Yeah. I do think one thing, not necessarily in this tournament, but once we get into like post BBM and stuff like that, one thing I've talked about this with like Kuhames and others is certain tournaments, especially if it's like a 10 max, a 20 max, get aggressive with a guy like that. And let's say it's a 10 max, try and have 4 or 5 Josh Allen teams, like be really over the field, because there's going to be many people who have 0 Josh Allen exposure in that entire tournament because it's 10 or 20 max. And yes, sometimes that might mean, let's say his ADP stays at 30. You might need to pull him up to 25. You might need to pull him up to 22 even. But get aggressive in a singular tournament like that. And if Allen goes off, you will have a massive edge come postseason time. You're probably pushing, most of those teams to the playoffs. And then you use this massive edge come postseason time where if he goes on a run, you could just really, really benefit. All right, I've been trying to get, I need to log into my BBO, even though it's a little dated. I do like to see the exposures. I'll pull up Dak. I mean, I like these other quarterbacks more. So that's one thing I want to do. And you can do it like, remember Huheems, I can't remember what contest it was. It was, I think, a 20 max, and he took Puka like 14 times, 12 times, something like that. And I mean, that paid off for that reason. And he would pull Puka up to like the 3 pick last year. And I think it's an interesting thing. And even more so, like not just with like first round guys, but even more so with like some of these second, third rounders. Imagine if you did that last year with Jonathan Taylor. Imagine if you did that with JSN. That could have been really, really strong and just easier to do from that positioning. Right, let me go back to the board. Let's remember to give Steve some likes. Yes, appreciate that, Mike. And also, speaking of Mike, we're going to be doing an NFL draft contest in our Discord. It's free. Join. But it's free to join the contest. So should be a lot of fun. Mike is been in charge of our contest, and I'm Cobra is just crushing our contest. But no, it should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to next week NFL draft. Might not be drafting every day, but we'll probably have a stream every day talking about something all week leading up to it, and then figuring out the plans for the weekend, and then of course getting into BBM season. JJ at the 101, live a little or for only $2. I mean, yeah, mixing it up, something like that also can be fun. Flipping the board. I didn't do that obviously, but yeah, I mean, Justin Jefferson having a real life quarterback again is a positive. It's a smart way to keep yourself open to all possibilities. Yeah. We got JT in here. How's it going? Good to see you, man. Cards, congrats on 1K. Thank you so much. Fading Josh Allen seems crazy. Also, Josh Allen single-handedly killed so many playoff teams last year with the big 10 points. That is, and like 2 years ago, week 15, he had the 45-point game. Like you 1,000% wanted him. And this is also one of the reasons we talked about 3 quarterbacks. Even with the Josh Allen team, you wanted Allen in that week of the playoffs, but you did not want him the next couple weeks, because it was like the next 2 weeks he didn't crack 20. One of them he had like 14 points. I think it might have been week 16 that year as well. And it's because he had 2 blowout games. I think it was Jets and the Dolphins. So yeah, that can be a risk. And, unfortunately, we do kind of see this with everyone. it's a reason why Brock Purdy was quarterback one throughout the playoffs. It wasn't Lamar, it wasn't Allen, wasn't, Hurts. Obviously, Jaden was hurt. We'll take a Brock or a Chris Godwin here. And we'll take a Blake Corum. Corum is a guy, I like pairing it like a trade down with a guy like Corum. Because Corum, I don't expect many 20-point games. But I think he can get 10 points just about any week. I'm not saying it's going to be every week, but any week he's alive for it. Because, of course, any week he gets a touchdown, he's there. Any week he just combines enough yards and a couple catches, he can get 10-plus points. And so I think he's the guy who, Hendo, I worry is going to be a little like feast or famine. He'll have a 30-point game and he'll have a 5-point game. So I want some guys who, Corum will probably have 8 to 10, like 10-ish point games. Like, even if he gets 9 and Hendo had a 4-point game, a 5-point game, those couple points could be the difference in making sure I'm one of these top 4 teams. So when I get a guy like Hendo, I like having some more safer, higher floor guys, like a Blake Corum. Mononga is another one. A few guys like that, I think really can help get, Hendo his highest effectiveness. Next quarterback room is built back to front. Mentally, Rodgers is already on every roster she builds for it. Yeah. C-Rod is a practice squad player, feels like a weak analysis, sadly. Tuten Slappies are about to learn a financially painful lesson, probably. Yeah, I think I don't have a ton of C-Rod myself. Just because I only took him a couple times when I thought he was staying in Washington. It's wild Washington let him walk. That's the one negative knock on him. Washington just let him walk. They could have retained him for essentially $3 million. He got more money, way more money for the Jags. But clearly Cohen wanted him. I do think C-Rod's a limited player. Like, he's not even like David Montgomery or the Cam Scadaboos or these kind of guys. Like, he is just a running back. Like, do not expect passing from him. He is more than 100 yards. You're probably counting your lucky stars. Coming up here in a few picks. Don't look at Tuten's yards per route run if you don't want to be sad. Excuse me. Yeah. I agree. Like, don't get me wrong. There's an upside case for Tuten. He could blow up in year 2. He's got the athletic profile, but athletic profiling gets you so far. And I just think people went over the hype machine got a little too high, both last year and this year. Because, everything should have gone well for Tuten. The offense was extremely good. Hank Bigsby's traded after week 1. That should have opened up a massive role for him. And it just didn't materialize. Speaking of running backs who did have something materialize, we'll go with Kenneth Gainwell here. And then, Malik Willis. This is why I have 20% of him. Maybe his dip below or not, but somewhere in that ballpark. He gives me the rushing, upside with Dak. Thank you, Best Ball and Call. Yeah, we had a lot of memberships donated last night. Really appreciate that. And definitely was glad to see you get one. Josh Allen had 40 plus total touchdowns for 5 straight years and then 39 last year. Love that. Was rushing touchdowns exactly. Like, and what I guess what I was probably inarticulately trying to say was he actually has a chance to go totally nuclear, because there's truly nothing preventing him, and particularly if the offense gets more aggressive, from being one of the leaders in passing touchdowns and the leader in rushing touchdowns, and of course kind of a combo leader in both. And in which case, he could set a new fantasy points record. like he's got that kind of upside that basically nobody else has. Zero, glad I was trying to catch you live. Always nice to hear your thoughts. Appreciate that, Zero. Yeah. Love that strategy. Love something to do more in 1 of 10 playoff pods since 1 of 5 are pretty true. Very true. Fancy Dog, number 15, like, just got out of surgery. Just listening, love you all. Oh, hopefully everything's okay, Fancy Dog. Appreciate you for jumping in, but definitely wishing you the best. Blackfish, I have a hard time getting weird in these UDFAs because everyone else is so values. I agree with that. There are some times where I start and I'm like, okay, I'm going to really, I want to do, you know, like a 6-man wide receiver room and take them all early. But then like a massive value hits. Like, okay, well, I can't really pass that up. So I do agree. There's been some wild of these UDFA drafts. Just, I think the combo of so many people multi-tabling, so many people, you know, just going draft after draft after draft. Like even if you're only doing one at a time, it can be hard to stay focused. So I'm sure there's a lot of that going on. I know it's affecting me, and you know, both in the slows and when I've multi-tabled. I'm probably not putting my best foot forward. And some of that I'm okay with because by embracing the chaos, it will help me get more creative in my builds, diversify some of my portfolio some. So I'm okay doing that, but it is something to note for sure. All right, we got crossface up. My version getting weird is taking a Monra at pick 4 to 9. Yeah, I mean, Monra is somebody I've pulled up a couple times in these UDFAs, and I think a couple of my last big boards, just because I had a decent share of JSN. I'm kind of not totally fading Puka now, but you know, Monra is as consistent as they get. Wide receiver 3 the last 3 years. I mentioned what Jared Goff has been doing, what the offense is doing, and last year was obviously without Ben Johnson as well. It's hard to be against Amon-Ra. I think he is somebody I definitely want to be over the field with. Ferg with Dak for sure. And then great receiver range or running back. I'll take Tyron Tracy. Let me go back to the board and then get back to chat. Nice. Yeah, I was taking him at number 5 in the big board some. Yeah, no, I'm definitely, you know, I'm already started to take a crack at what I'm thinking for my post-draft rankings. And I think I'm going to have Amon-Ra above JSN and maybe Puka. Still deciding the Puka one. My top 3 are going to be the same unless something crazy happens draft weekend, but Bijan, Gibbs, and Chase. But then, you know, like I'm really debating JT and Amon-Ra, what to do with them. Flipping the board when everyone is getting weird leads to extra crazy combos like Amon-Ra, Love, Bowers I got last night. Wow. It's hard to get different through because 6 through 14 shuffled so much. Yeah. These are definitely a bit of the Wild West, but it's kind of fun. And like I said, they're just naturally making things a little different. And not taking Gibbs, Bijan, Chase, Puka to pull somebody up just seems bad. I definitely agree in the first 3. Puka, like, here's the thing. You know, not just Puka's off the field stuff, which hopefully he's getting taken care of. But Puka, as I mentioned, Stafford had to have just the most elite of elite seasons last year, and that helped carry Puka, and to an extent, Adams as well. But, Puka's more, I think, at risk if Stafford goes a good year, but 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns. It could, Puka could still be worthy of a first round pick, but then he's 11-12. He's not 3-4, is the way I'd look at it. And you also, the other thing that you run the risk is if they do, draft a receiver in the first round. I don't think it, again, nukes Puka, but again, he should probably be going at the back of the first round. And that would be the case for anyone. If the Bengals surprise and take a receiver at 10, that impacts Chase and Higgins. If the Cowboys take one at 12, that impacts Lamb and Pickens. I think pretty definitively. So right now, JSN just feels a little better to me, or sorry, not JSN. Amon-Ra feels a little better to me than Puka, but I haven't fully decided if that's the way I'm going to go or not yet. I think I'm good at tight end. Need some receiver help. Oof. This could be a 10 receiver team. All right, go back here. And I thought Mitchell, but it wasn't going to be getting Geno coming back. And Jets are very likely to be drafting somebody. I just created the Bijan Gibbs Jamar tier since January and stuck to it. So anytime after pick 3, it's okay to get weird. Yeah, I definitely think that's where I'm at now. I mean, to me, you can obviously make the CD Lamb case. You can even make the Justin Jefferson case, absolutely the Monarch case, and the JSN. Seattle, I think, will have to throw the ball more this year, not just because of the Kenneth Walker situation, but they also lost multiple defensive starters. Their defense going from number 1, number 2 to number 8 could be enough. Also, they're going to have a tough schedule, and we did see some good offenses get to them last year, especially the Rams. I just think that there's a chance. I don't think JSN is going to, I'd have to look at what he finalized it at, but it's 36% target share, whatever it was. Is that sticky? No, but at 30 or 31% target share, much more likely. And if they throw the ball 100 more times, he could end up with as many or more targets. Is kind of the way I look at it. But I think all those receivers are after Jamar Chase. And this is how I really sum it up: is a lot went wrong for Chase last year, and basically everything went right for Puka. I mean, Puka did miss one game, but so did Chase. And Higgins missed one game. Devontae Adams missed 3.5 games. Of course, the big one is Burrow getting injured for so long, and not just that, but even sans Flacco wasn't great times for Jamar Chase, and Chase still came pretty damn close to matching Puka. This year, if Burrow can stay healthy and Chase can stay healthy, I think Chase is wide receiver 1. Is kind of how I boil it down. Congrats on the milestone. Your channel does very good informative content with a nice amount of entertainment as well, better than just wild takes. Appreciate that, Mikey boy. Thank you. No, I mean, we try to talk about different topics at the start of shows. I'm sure we're going to even be doing more, maybe in shows that don't involve drafting. Definitely we're going to be after the draft getting a lot of guests on to do that more. We're also going to have Degen Dads once BBM comes back. They're going to be doing a weekly stream as well. And we just want to keep growing it and doing more and more. So thank you so much for the compliment. obviously you don't want to fully fade any first round pick. I never took Puka over Jamar and still ended up. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like 5% Puka. Right. Let's see what I want to do with these 2 picks here. I think I'm good at tight end. Quarterback. I'll take Mix guy. But no, I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers here is just such a steal. And when he does sign, I do expect him to sign, he's going to go up 3 rounds. Like he's going to not be in the 16, 17 range. Oof, this is a bad range for me. Take Christian Kirk. Don't love it, but we'll do it. I'm just not Malik Washington at this price. I just think there's a lot of different ways that goes different. They go in a different direction. Tuten a smash. Jags let ETN good running back walk and brought in Jag. I'm guessing you didn't mean for a pun there. And no threatening rookies in this draft class. Well, so I understand, like Mike Renner, I know was on ETR and has said it before, like Tuten would be the number 3 running back in this class and stuff like that. And the reality is that would apply to so many guys last year. That's true. But at the same time, if the Jags, who have multiple 3rd round picks, if they spend that draft capital, I think you got to get worried. I don't really think they will. I think they maybe bring in a day 3 guy. But if they go and take M. Johnson, Mike Washington, who I think is a lot like Tuten, but Mike Washington, Emma Johnson, Jonah Coleman, even pull up Katron Allen, and they're spending more serious capital. Even if the class is weaker, and even if you create a board of the 2 drafts together and say, oh, well, we had Tuten ranked ahead of, Emma Johnson, they're still making an investment. So we still should consider that. It's one thing a couple of years ago when the Rams and Cardinals took 3rd round picks to back up Kyron and James Conner. Now, Kyron wasn't like fully established, but he was coming off a great year. And of course, that led to the Kyron Williams listed as a punt returner that had everyone fading him, which was absolutely hysterical. But people were burying James Conner, and James Conner had a long history and career of being a pretty damn good running back. And that was, I also use that for a comparison because that was a weak running back class as well. But I lean to think that they won't do that. But I'm just a little bit more on the Chris Rodriguez could carve out a role. And it's just one of those things. I think it ends up being probably a 3-man backfield, and Tuten will probably have the least valuable portion of that because he might lead him. My guess is the pro Tuten side is he leads in carries, leads in yards, but he is second and maybe by a significant margin in receiving yards, and he's second and by a significant margin in rushing touchdown or in total touchdowns. With that logic, Walker's a bad pick because Seattle let him walk. No, I mean, that's not the exact same logic. He's not saying 8-chain is a bad pick. He's saying, but I think that's like, that'd be like saying George Holani is going to be the lead back because Seattle let Walker walk. Sorry for that pun. To keep George Holani. Now, the reality is they're likely to draft somebody. And the difference also is, of course, George Holani goes in the 19th round. We're going to do a lot of receivers here, so let's take another Chris Bell share. 9. I think I'm going 10. I like my running back room. Corum, Gainwell, Tyron Tracy. I don't think much else improves it at this point. I will say it has a little to do with Tuten. I think they had a plan, Tuten, and my guess is they targeted Chris Rodriguez, and they said we can get Chris Rodriguez for essentially half the 8-chain money, and we're going to pair him with Tuten. For me, it's a price thing. Like if Tuten was going like if this was the Vikings and you Jordan Mason going, 120 and Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones going 130, then yeah, I'd probably have a pretty nice bag of Tuten. But it's more the price is just, to me, it's just too high for a guy without having a clear fantasy role. He could be the starter. He could be number one on the depth chart, lead this team in carries. But if he only has 5 to 7 touchdowns, it's going to be fairly hard to pay off in that area. I mean, let's just look at where he went in this, and he did fall in this. Where Tuten 63. I mean, Harvey can easily match that kind of touchdown rate. Swift and Judkins are clearly Scatterboo and Monty with no competition coming in would be better. I think Jalen Warren's too high because I think he's in that potentially same kind of boat. But like Ramondre, Dowdle, these guys can just have bigger upside cases. I'd love to find Tuten at an ADP where I feel comfortable having a percentage of them, just because I do believe in the Jaguars offense. Like, I think it's one of the best offenses in the league, or has the upside to be. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about totally wiping it out. I just think they are, like, people should acknowledge that C-Rod, I don't think he's just a Jag, like, outside of being on the Jags. And he stopped doing that. I think he is more than that. He's shown that he's earned roles in Washington versus better competition. Usually it's because there's some injuries ahead of him. But every time he produced, to me, like yes, JCM had the more explosive plays, but Chris Rodriguez was the guy inside the 5, inside the 10. He was also the guy who was more consistent at, play in, play out. All right, a 10-man receiver room. Let's take a Brendan Thompson swing. Small guy, fast as hell. I mean, we'll see if he gets third round upside or third round draft capital. See, this is where I disagree. Like Flyfish, I don't think we can say C-Rod is a terrible 2-down grinder. He is, yeah, like that part I'm on the 0 side. Like Chris Rodriguez, even from him being a rookie, has looked better than Tuten. Tuten has more passing upside, but he's not good. Like this is not like a Taj Spears or somebody like that who's like, oh, well, maybe they can expand in that role. Good to see Aiden in here. Mike, the best closing line value I got from early big boards was a lot of DJ, 95 to 110. I think his game with Josh is a way better fit than in Chicago, where everything was just so timing and precision focused. Yeah, I think DJ just could. I mean, as much as I like Caleb Williams, this is the best quarterback DJ Morris has had. I mean, light years better than Fields, light years better than what he was getting in Carolina. Even when he was guys like Darnold and Baker, yeah, he was still there. They just weren't at the same level. They weren't at their peak level. So I agree. Like, well, Moore is probably, about to enter the the pinnacle of his, probably looking at the downside. Receivers can still have a lot of good years into their 30s. And I just think, DJ Moore, his ADP is not reflective of what his upside potential is for sure. I mean, I don't think athletic profile is a great measure of running back success. Like if it pairs with elite production play, like Jeremiah Love in this case, like a Bijan, Saquon Barkley, those kind of things, great. But we see year in, year out some of the most athletic running backs be some of the worst running backs. And that's just kind of the issue with Tuten. Like, he didn't have a great analytical profile himself. Like his, he had a lot of drops in college. He had penalties. He had a number of fumbles in college. He also, while he had one of the higher, I think it was Scadaboo, or I think it was Genty, Scadaboo, and one other guy. And then Tuten, yards after contact last year coming out. He also had one of the high stuff rates, which that's not a good thing. That means, yes, he got the couple of those runs where he'd get contact and then break it for 60 yards, which is fantastic. But most times he got contact, he's gained stuff. So, I actually don't think Tuten has a good analytical profile. He's a great athletic profile. And yes, his real draft capital was higher than Chris Rodriguez. But fantasy scoring wise, Chris Rodriguez was better, right? I mean, he had 6 touchdowns, 500 yards. He's in his almost 200 yards career carries. He's 4.6 yards per carry average. No passing work. I will never try and convince you that he can catch the ball. Trust me, I've seen it as a Washington fan. Even saw it back when he was playing in Kentucky. Not his game at all. It's just Tuten is at the very, very low end of receiving backs, or like receiving capabilities among running backs. Yeah, this is where I kind of agree. Like, Rodriguez has a good analytical profile. Is where I'm at. Worst performance on Redskins team from last year. No, I mean, he was actually good on the team. I guess I don't know if he did earn that role, Flyfish, because he didn't look good in that. He averaged, yeah, like this is the thing. When you're hard to be explosive when you're punching in touchdowns, but I guess where I'm in disagreement, like he wasn't punching in he was not a short yardage back. That was a chain. If you look at the percentages, it's a country mile of a chain over Tuten in that department. And C-Rod is absolutely the punching in touchdown guy. So he had a much better yards per carry. Not saying he can't be a good pick, just push him back to a smash or a lock. Need to be actual bull case on something other than the chain workload. Yeah. He wasn't a rookie behind a high pedigree starter. I mean, JCM had more carries than Chris Rodriguez last year. It was just, they trusted Chris Rodriguez more, particularly down the stretch. Just because he didn't fumble, he talking about analytical profile, he was very good about not getting stuffed. JCM just had some issues where not picking the right hole, and if he picked the right hole, he could run for 60. If he doesn't, he loses 3 yards. Last year, and JCM had a 4.6 yards per carry as well, but he was much more, feast or famine. And he had 175 carries. Chris Rodriguez, in 13 games, he had 112 because he didn't play week 1 when Eckler was still there. And then he might have been inactive week 2 as well, but then he missed a couple games later in the year. As an ETN drafter last year, I was worried about the opportunities that Liam gave Tuten. Tuten squandered them, though. Yeah. Animal, awesome job. Yeah, let me go over this draft real quick. And then I do want to get into one more. So I'll go over my team. Didn't love my team. 3-5-10-2. Dak, Malik Willis, Aaron Rodgers. So I got 2 of the quarterbacks we were talking, but this is actually the combo that I like. Like Dak can do a little little running, but not much. He's just one top end of the passing pocket quarterbacks. Malik Willis, giving me that big rushing upside, and then Aaron Rodgers, give me that safety net. He'll have a lot of weeks in the high teens, low 20s, and particularly I think with Mike McCarthy, and that's fine. That's fine because there's going to be weeks where Malik Willis is just really bad. So just having extra insurance, I think, is always a good thing. Bijan Robinson, Travion Henderson, Blake Corum, Kenneth Gainwell, Tyron Tracy. It's a little thinner running back than I generally like for only going 5, but at the end there, I could have tacked on George Trelawney, sure. I think it's okay. 5 by 145. Not always my favorite profiles with guys like Gainwell and Tracy. But Bijan is going to have to do a lot of work on this team. Receiver-wise, George Pickens, Nico Collins, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin. So I loved the start, but then I waited. I probably waited too long. Calvin Ridley, Trey Harris, Christian Kirk, Troy Franklin, Chris Bell, Brennan Thompson. So I think the way I build this, I will need more flex plays from my receivers. Again, the top 4, I feel really, really good about. The next 6, just praying to get some hits in there. And Tyler Warren, Jake Ferguson, got a fall in Ferguson also, stacked with Dak. Absolutely fine with the 2 tight end room there. All right, let's go into the next team. Young Mula, Trevor Lawrence, Matt Stafford, Kyren Williams, Javonte Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Rashard White, Mike Washington Jr., Sean Tucker, Nicholas Singleton, Jalen Wright. So he kind of went with a double anchor, and I think Dobbins is pretty good as well. And it's not like he went like a 0 RB or truly double anchor, because he kept hitting pockets. And I went 8 running backs. And just a mix of like upside swing cases like Mike Washington Jr., Nick Singleton, backups like Tucker and Wright, and it's just about getting enough firepower. And I know I talked about with Young Mula, like definitely in these 412s, he's trying to get different, and I kind of agree, like having some of these more unique build structures, because it's one of those like you feel more confident about getting to the playoffs, and then can we get unique, especially in that finals where it's like Nicholas Singleton or Jalen Wright could be a bust all year, but they just have that game, and they're the guy you need. Like Taj Spears a couple years ago. Tony Pollard was the lead back all year. Spears did nothing. And like week 15 and 16, Spears has like 20-point games. Puka, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Omar Cooper Jr., Jerry Jeudy, Tesla, Stripling. That's a nice, he's not going to be highly owned at all. Stephen Williams, another one. So, top heavy with the top 3 receivers, then kind of weighted. A lot of big rookie upside plays, or young guys like Savion Williams and Tesla. I actually like, and this is where I like a Jerry Jeudy a lot. I don't think Jerry Jeudy has a big ceiling, but I think he's got a great floor for the 150, 160 range. You got him at 165, and you might need that floor early on while some of these young guys are getting their feet wet, even a guy like Omar Cooper Jr. Then Loveland, Strange, 2 tight ends, absolutely fine going. Just stopping with those 2. No, I mean, really stacked up. Have the Rams offense with Stafford and Kyren. Trevor Lawrence with BTJ and Strange. Those are 2, and Puka also with Stafford. So, yeah, that can be a unique but fun team, particularly if some of those young guys, the rookies and young guys, really pay off. Excuse me. Legion's next. Hertz, Goff, Kirk Cousins insurance policy. That was definitely something, if I didn't get Rodgers, I was considering as well. Christian McCaffrey, Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs. So 3 early backs, then tack on the rookies, Emma Johnson, Katron Allen. If they're both bust, still can be 100% fine, particularly in the 412. One of those hits, maybe the best running back room in this draft. If both hit, it definitely is. So, that is a fun way to build it. Jameson Williams, Terry McLaurin, Kyle Lemon, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Worthy, Khalil Shakir, Elijah Surratt, Corey Horton, and Tutu Atwell. So, just a nice combo here. J-Mo, one of the better number 2s, but Spike Week guy. Terry McLaurin could clearly be the number 1 in Washington. With Kyle Lemon, we'll see a landing spot, but from what his draft capital should be, that's a fine pick. Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Worthy. I think Worthy just goes too low now. I think Ricky does as well. I mean, I love Mike Evans, and I think Mike Evans is a top 40 player. but I don't know if we need to wait 5 rounds before we're, 4.5 rounds before we're taking Ricky P to go with them. I think they both can 100% get there. There's some chance the 49ers could just tack on a receiver in the first round, but I don't think it's their priority. So I like how this receiver room came together. Khalil Shakir's another one. Like, we actually probably pushed him down too low with the DJ Moore thing. He should still get plenty of work, kind of in that 800 to 1,000 yards, 5 to 7 touchdowns. He's going to not have many ceiling games, but should have a number of like 14 to 17 point games. Elias Straw, one of my favorite rookies, Torrey Horton and Tutu Atwell, just kind of young guy with Horton, and then Tutu Atwell taking a shot at that Miami room. And that's why I say Malik Washington. Malik Washington's going like 40 picks higher than this. There's a real chance that Tolbert and Tutu are already ahead of Malik Washington, and whoever they draft and or whatever free agents they bring in. Hopefully, when we get after the draft, we'll have some more clarity on this. But right now, I think I've taken more Tolbert than Tutu. But I think that's a better click right now than Malik Washington. I have a little bit, but it just, as he went up the board, it didn't feel something I needed to chase. Dallas Goedert, Mark Andrews, Mason Taylor. Very strong tight end room. Wait to pick 140, and I mean, you easily have 2 guys who could be top 10 tight ends. We have Crossface in here, 2684. Allen May, that is just a fun upside combo. Could legitimately have 2 of the top. Could have quarterback 1 and 2, to be quite honest. Drake May, while he has the rushing upside, he actually didn't run near as much as people expect. That could change this year with them being more competitive. I also think they could throw the ball a lot more this year. So, I think May. I don't think people give May enough credit to be a top 5, but a top 3, even top quarterback 1. Like, that is well within his wheelhouse, and I think he's fallen just too much. JT, love all 3 top backs. Woody Marks, love him at this price. Spears, really love him at this price. And Ray Davis, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 handcuff backs in the league right now. Well built running back room. Three backs to rely on, 2 others who should get good partial time, and then a fantastic handcuff, whether it's for 1 game or a long time, that Ray Davis would take over for James Cook. He'd be one of the top running backs he'd be taking in dailies those weeks. Devontae Adams, Parker Washington, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Casey Concepcion, Rashid Shaheed, Kayshon Boutte, and Pat Bryant. This is why sometimes I don't mind waiting. I mean, Devontae Adams has top 10 receiver upside. Parker Washington is not my favorite, but I get it. Romeo Doubs paired with, May. And sorry if I took DJ Moore from you. Reed, Concepcion, Shaheed. I think that's a very strong core. Another pairing with May, and then Pat Bryant. So, I think generally you're going to need your flex to come from the running back room, but you have enough firepower here, more than enough firepower here, or to get the flex a couple times, but also to just carry the team. Carry your 3 wide receiver spots should be fine. So 4 tight end here: Gadsden, Kincaid, Gunnar Helm, and then last round David Njoku. Njoku, that's a bargain basement price. Take advantage of the 20-round format. Kincaid falling 20 spots. That, I know he's been falling. There's been the buzz that they're going to try and limit his snaps or whatever. That feels like a good value at that point. All right. Let me get in. What else? We Daniel in here. I don't believe Daniel is a YouTube member, if I'm not mistaken. So I will read off the top of the team. James Cook, Walker, Olave, Devonta Smith in a 3-5-9-3, so double anchor, and maybe added some more running backs quickly to stop at 5, kind of similar to what I did, though you went first 2 rounds. So we'll get into another draft, but let me catch up in chat. I know I got way behind. Lehman's always given multiple running backs work, though, more so than Tuten earning it. Yeah. At 28% ETN, he was incredible value. Agreed. Last year, ETN would have paid off 2026 Tuten costs, but the landscape is different. That's where I'm at. You can call me Happy Tuten, Slappy Tuten, about to get ham. Yeah, I know you're a big fan, JB. C-Rod, one of the best clicks on the board. If they don't draft running back, he'll get goal line work. That I don't necessarily agree, and I know Harbin talks about this. I just look at it from the overall percentage, and it was not the case. Like, usually goal line backs, like a Jordan Mason versus an Aaron Jones, like hell, Kenneth Gainwell out, I believe, had more goal line work than Jalen Warren, but just in years past, obviously Najee got that work. I just don't know if it's Chris Rodriguez versus JCM, stuff like that. C-Rod will get it over Tuten. Okay, sorry, I read that wrong. Plus too many mouse speed in the passing game. If anything, it should be higher on T-Law. Yeah, I think the offense is going to be really good. George Trelawney, seasoned baby, Boise State legend. Absolutely. I mean, the guy who kept Genty from going ham earlier in his career. We got Fantasy Dog Pound in here. What's going on? Doing good, Pat. Doing good. We are grinding, down the stretch here. We hit our 1,000 sub goal. We're pumped. We're excited for, we're going to have a 24-hour live stream in early May to celebrate. So we're really looking forward to it. Best ball scoring, etc. We chase touchdowns. That's where guys separate. Yeah, C-Rod, that's the issue. Tuten, I think, really has to show that he can have a big touchdown role. Talk about C-Rod and summon Pat. Last that's off. I wake up every morning with the song in my head. Well, I hope that's a good thing, Kicks. Good to see you, Kicks. Was Tuten not good at the goal line? 6 carries, 4 touchdowns, and good short yardage success rate in general. Maybe you want base on that. I think people assumed that he had the role, and he did not. I also think, if I'm not mistaken, did he have a fumble in there? And I just, if I'm not, I'll have to go to fantasy points, but I remember when I looked at this up with two games, Aching, despite not having the profile of a goal line back, had 52% of the inside the 5 carries, if I'm not mistaken, or snaps. And, that other teams don't have that, that. And it wasn't like Tuten had the other 48%. You had LaQuinn Allen in there, and of course Tank Bigsby for the first week. Some other back came in the game that Tuten was out. So it just, from what I recall, it was not the win, this massive red zone role that one would expect. And this was the difference. If the Jaguars had signed a more clear passing game back, then I'd feel better about Tuten, because I'd feel like he could get that red zone, or inside the 5-yard roll. But I don't think he's going to get it versus C-Rod. He signed someone who's good at the one thing Tuten is good at, goal line. Yeah. Kicks in here. Tuten follows him. I take him to be different. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want zero Tuten. This offense is too good to ignore. I did that a little too much with Dallas last year. I only had 4% Javante. And I just tell myself, well, just take Miles Sanders later or whatever. It's the same thing, but it was not the same thing. And, that to me is a mistake. So this year I want to have a share of Tuten, but I'll probably be in the 4% camp of Tuten. I think Zero and I are generally in the same range. Tuten can improve his patience and overall vision. He can smash, though. Yeah, I think he does have the spike week upside of also kind of what JCM did for Washington. Get that 70-yard touchdown run and hopefully get enough more, and he has a 20-point game. But it's just, if the touchdown doesn't materialize, is there enough there? If Tuten was going around Chuba or Mondre, sure, I feel like flexible, it's not going to defeat bust. Yeah. That's why what I said, and this is it also, like C-Rod is just a little too low. They should both meet closer to the middle. Some people pulling up Tuten still for DJ Moore Swift just feel insane to me. I think people reacted too strongly, and I think it was a couple things. One, he started this contest at an ADP of the 70s, and the thing is that was, to me, his kind of like peak if A-Chain moved on, which he did. And then when he moved on, he started going like the 45 to 50 range, and that just felt totally wrong. And in particular, once they added C-Rod. Legion, I can't get away from you. I mean, betting on undersized fumbling issues running back over Allen's number one option 29 years just feels like malpractice. I do agree with that. Tuten's always had huge fumbling issues in college. Why do you think they got C-Rod? No way he gets full workload and on his size. Yeah, that's and this is like, here's the thing. Like come July, Tuten could just be a totally different guy this year. He could just look so much better. He has this breakout, and then maybe it pays off. But we could see the opposite also. We could see Tuten continuing the fumbling issues, continuing some of the concerns, the dropping passes. He also dropped a lot of passes in college as well. All right, trying to catch up in chat. So the Jaguars allowed A-Chain to walk to bring in. Well, I guess my pushback is, can you make the same case that they believe Tuten is worthy of the feature back? Like, what has Tuten done, A, in the NFL, and B, even in college? Because in college, he was fast. That was about it. He didn't display great vision. He's not a good receiving back. He fumbles the ball. He's fast. And yeah, when even at Virginia Tech, you can use that speed. And he would, go against some good college defenses and still put up good numbers, but it doesn't translate the same way. TQ Parker had a case of the fumbles and he fixed it. It is possible. No question about that. 2 or 3 4-year contract. I think, well, for the Jaguars, it's money. They were over the cap. They had to maneuver some things, and they just, it became down to money. So let's get into another UDFA 3. I'd like to get another one in. I'm going to count it down. I'm going to enter in 10 seconds, and in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. And let me get back into chat. Fantasy Football Garage, what up, Steve? Doing good, Candyman. Not sure if you saw, we hit our 1,000 mark. So we are pumped. We have a 24-hour live stream coming in after BBM season starts. The Packers did that at some angry letters. GM. ETN was 51, 52 short yardage efficiency. Not sure what you're saying there. Not saying C-Rod is going to be featured, but are we into Tuten enough? We're clicking Tuten. That's I think there's just going to be. I think Tuten's going to produce, and this is why whoever shouted out the put him in that Ramondre range. That's probably, Ramondre is going to have more of a passing work. But speaking of another guy who fumbles, but Ramondre just does everything well. Like he is a good pass blocker. He catches the ball decently. He can run between tackles. He has some explosive ability. But Ramondre versus Hendo. Hendo's going to have the 25, 30-point games. Ramondre is more likely to have just a lot of 15-point games. And go back to like the David Montgomery, those types. Tuten's a different profile. I get that, but I just kind of worry that's going to be where Tuten's at. Like, there's going to be very few opportunities for him to expand into like a 2-touchdown game, 150-yard carry or 150-yard game. So he's going to get a lot of these like 60 to 80-yard, and this is also combining with limited receiving yards. I believe he'll have, like 2 catches, 80 combined yards. That's 9 points. If he gets a touchdown, he's playable. If he doesn't get a touchdown, he's buried. And it's just like, how many times is he going to get like 120 and 1 and 4 catches? Probably pretty rare in my book. So here we did get JT in here. Buddy Man, I'm in the 11 spot. Sweet Leaf's in the 12. All right. Well, speaking of the Bills, let's just take James Cook and Ashton Genty. Oh, well, I need to see what Sweet Leaf does. I said 12, but that was Sweet Leaf on the 11. So he takes Walker. I'll take Barkley. Go back to the board. Which way Gladstone drafted? Well, I think that's the other difference. Is that's Gladstone's plan? Is that Liam Cohen's plan? Gladstone was very excited about Tuten. There's no question. There's multiple reports. He brought him up in his interviews. Yada yada yada. Liam Cohen would not talk the most glowingly about Tuten last year in camp, even during the season. It just didn't seem to be his guy. And the first chance that he gets, he adds literally his guy, Chris Rodriguez. That's kind of the way I look at it. Yeah. And that could have been the debate, in the Jags internal office. It's like, I would imagine, given what we saw last year, Cohen wanted Travis Etienne back, but I was probably told there's not enough money, and he said, okay, but let's go get my guy. And that's what they did. And of course, what I just said is speculation, but that feels right. Like, I don't think the Jags were just like, Tuten is better than Etienne. There's anything that could point to that. It was a price thing. And their price thing was, okay, Tuten plus Chris Rodriguez plus with Quinn Allen. That's on the cheap versus Etienne. Yeah. If the bet is the Jags running back, I'll just take the cheaper one that is ties to the head coach that they prioritize getting. That's really what I want, and why I ended up just clicking C-Rod because the amount of the gap. Tuten is so exciting, but just makes logical sense to take a guy who maybe split 50-50, but 8 rounds later. And it's just touchdowns end up mattering because, Chris Rodriguez could have a 40-yard game and a touchdown, and that's more than that 80-yard 2-catch game, no touchdown that I, pointed out, for Tuten. And if one of these guys gets 2 touchdowns, I think it's more likely to be Chris Rodriguez. Right, coming up here into the 3rd round. Best laid plans, nice getaway. Have fun with Zach Moss bet. I'll stick with the pricier Chase Brown side. Hey, I see. The thing with Chase Brown is he had passing role, so I have a tough time making that comp. I mean, I get Chase Brown like mid-round pick, that what you're saying there, but I just don't think the profile's the same. And like Chase Brown's competing versus Pirine. And I take Higgins. That was not great. Good debate, but I do need to focus. Good pick, Sweetleaf. I wanted Smith. We will take Buka. These Bengals let RB1 consolidate besides certain scenarios, and is what. Well, it's just also like the Bengals when they traded away Joe Mixon. It was just Pirine. Like there's no real competition. I think, and this is, I think the issue is like some people don't believe C-Rod is real competition. To me, he is. And also we have Quid in this draft. Sorry for missing that earlier. And you might have shouted out. I know I'm behind in comments. I'm just, for me, it's hard to say Chris Rodriguez is unremarkable when Tuten looked far worse. Now, it's a 1 year versus a 3 year, but every year Chris Rodriguez looked better than Tuten. I get Chris Rodriguez is nowhere near like a top end back. He's part of a committee. I just think that's where Tuten is as well. And this is where it boils down to with Aiden is price matters. Nola evidently fine. Nice contract point is ETN walk because Jags C-Rod a role player, Tuten a star player. I don't personally think we've seen the evidence that the Jaguars believe that he's a star player. They have 11 picks, so that running back room can gain some competition. That's where I'm at, Peanut. I think it's day 3, not day 2, which I do think matters some. But I would almost assuredly believe that a running back gets taken. For the bid, I want to take Michelle Tuten right now. Because I have 1 or 2 more shares than this, but yeah. I think it would be kind of funny. Damn it. We'll take Swift though. They need strong running game. I don't think that. I guess that's my other issues. I don't think this is like the Jags chose Tuten over A-Chain. It's just money's a factor. Saints had more money, which is shocking, but it is. What it means because it's a rookie contract, quarterback contract deal, and. I think the Jags viewed it like we can combo this, right or wrong. And that's how they did it. And I just don't think this whole it's a copy paste between Tuten and A-Chain. And I think that Zero's biggest point is people are treating it like he's going to do what Travis A-Chain did last year. And that I think is wrong. I think that's a very tough case, and if so, we should pay a discount price for it because he definitely doesn't have the profiles. A-Chain definitely doesn't have anything that he's shown analytically, draft capital, etc. And that too. There's no rookie competition that worry me outside Katron Allen, but he threatens C-Rod more. Maybe Emma Johnson, but incumbent's way better bet. I think it's more just like competition's competition. Like there are these times where these guys overtake, and sometimes it's a financial thing. Back to Washington, it was Chris Rodriguez and JCM. That's why Washington. I think most people would say Brian Robinson Jr. is a better running back than either of those guys. But from Washington's standpoint, we're paying both these guys essentially league minimum we would be paying Brian Robinson a couple million. Let's free that up. We get a 6th-rounder. At the time, they also thought they had Austin Eckler. He would last more than 6 quarters. And, they felt more confident in their running back room. But we see it every year. Like, look, Kenneth Gainwell, like at this time last year, we knew Kenneth Gainwell was a Pittsburgh Steeler, but he signed for $1.5 million. And he beat out Jalen Warren, and he beat out a 3rd-round pick. Like, Warren ended up with more fantasy points, but you look just down the stretch, how they were utilized, like clearly Gainwell consolidated a pretty big role there. And, I just think that like competition does come into play. I mean, there's obviously a lot of rooms where no amount of competition is going to change the outcome, or at least who gets first crack at it. I don't care how good Taj Brooks looks like in year 2, or DJ Giddens looks in year 2 for the Colts, or Taj Brooks for the Bengals. I don't think Chase Brown's job or Jonathan Taylor's job is up for grabs, but some of these other situations, competition can be a factor. And, I think we shouldn't ignore that even, and this is what I was saying earlier, even if the Jags had a higher grade, even if the true consensus was Tuten is a higher graded prospect than Emma Johnson, I don't think it's a massive gap, as some people say. Because Emma Johnson, does some things that Tuten does not do. Like, Emma Johnson has very good vision. Emma Johnson is very good receiving out of the backfield. It's that kind of thing. And, it could be just who the coaching staff trusts the most. We'll do Jordan Addison. Let's see what Sweetleaf gives me here. Go Tucker Kraft. Probably 2 tight end build at that point. Speaking of pocket quarterbacks, sorry, I didn't mention Joe Burrow. That is the true alpha pocket quarterback. But I was more like talking about value. Tuten doesn't have to outscore C-Rod. He has to outscore every other exciting player in his range. That's what it boils down. Like, it could be that Tuten outscores C-Rod by a solid margin, but it's not enough compared to the Swifts, the Scadaboos, even RJ Harvey, who I'm not the biggest fan of. But that's where it becomes dicey. And then also, of course, other positions in that range. But this is a fun debate. I think it's going to continue. I think there's going to be a lot we do have to see in the draft. And speaking of draft competition, I know last year's class was good, but we see it every year. Like, day 3 guys who can exceed expectations find a role. Bucky Irvin being one. Last year, Kamanangai and JCM. 2 years ago, Tyron Tracy. Scadaboo obviously last year. He was more in that Tuten bucket, where I think most years Tuten and Scadaboo. I know Scadaboo went right behind Tuten. Scadaboo's clearly the better running back, and that was clearly, I think, played out in year 1. Their most years are probably more 3rd rounders, but last year with the Diva class they got pushed. Tuten Worth's have taken over. We need the draft. Just bet on Judkins. And that's the difference. Is Judkins part of a bad offense? Hopefully the offense is improved. He should get better. Tuten can improve, no doubt. We will still have a bag, but 100% out on 4 or 5. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Taking over the battlefield now. I'll take Jags running back 1 over Cleveland volume. That leads along where we will be resilient. DeBarge once saying, time will reveal. I like polarizing players got to pick a side. Who really knows? No, I mean, have stance, that sometimes we're right on them, sometimes we're wrong on them. We'll go Kyler here with Addison, again comboing a pocket passer with a rushing quarterback. Might just stop at 2, and especially in this 4-12. Let me get back to the board. But I honestly do appreciate the debate and talk. I like to always try and be respectful on it and look at it. I just view it, from the opportunity cost. That's the biggest thing. Like, if you told me I could get either at the same pick, I'm taking Tuten. But it's not even just either of them at the same pick. It's the fact that I think many of the guys around there are just safer and, if not better, options. All this banter because none of us knows what the fuck we're doing, but this is a great fun part. It is. And, I enjoy having these talks, these debates. You can hedge me with Samson later. No hard feelings, just think the upside is so tantalizing, but you obviously need to structure a running back. And this is like, and I get why this is partly why we're having this debate. The Jags offense just feels like an offense that could be top 5 this year. They were so much better down the stretch last year, and that was with Brian Thomas not 100%. That was with Strange missing a good chunk of time. That was with, obviously, Travis Hunter out. And, they got Jacoby Myers somewhere in that, like week 11, I think it was. But they were just really, really good. And this was Aiden's point earlier is, this is an offense to invest in. The running back room, I think we want pieces of both. But I probably will be in the camp of a higher percentage of C-Rod. TX pass price and draft Emmett. What range are we taking him? I think whatever, assuming it's only 1, because maybe they do it like the Browns didn't take 2. Assuming they are only drafting 1 running back, then I think, like, whether it's Emmett Johnson or Coleman, I think they should both go maybe top 100, but around pick 100. The problem is there is still the negative case of end of the year. Charbonnet's back. He's the lead back. This guy goes into more of a solid, secondary role. So I don't know if he goes much ahead of like the core Monangai types. But I do think that's kind of where whatever Seattle running back should go. Maybe top 80, like 80 to 100 is like the high end. But somewhere in that pick 100 range for sure. I do think there's going to be a bit of a resetting of the market, because then we can start to know, like, do the Vikings add competition? If not, one of their backs should be higher. No, I don't want Travis Kelce in this team. Omar Cooper. And speaking of Vikings running backs, let's see if I can get Aaron Jones as well. So Kraft, Laporta, 2 tight end. I'm gonna stop there. Let's see what Sweetleaf leaves me. He takes Aaron Jones. I'll take John Coleman. All right. Wait, let me get the board up, and then I'll go back to comments. Aiden, I think Renner, Hayden, and Josh, and somebody else is KC number 2, I think. and sorry, WFN Warehouse. First one says, I read a letter that said Concepcion is the best receiver in the entire draft. The author seemed really convinced by this. I believe that was the Casey Concepcion, a letter you're referencing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not there. I think I'm kind of treating Concepcion as the number 3. Lemon, to me, I think it's Tyson, Tate, and Concepcion. Lemon, to me, is very landing spot dependent. For a first-round receiver, we don't like being that landing spot dependent. At least I don't, and especially somebody drafted that high. Are there places where he pays that off by a mile? Absolutely. But I think there's a lot of places where he could just go and be this year's like JSN, and where JSN just only operated out of the slot, but there was a couple good receivers there, just not a lot to go around. Not a primary, not a team that's in 11 personnel 60% of the time. That's kind of the concern, where these guys like Tyson and Concepcion, and Tate obviously is an outside receiver, but they can just find their ways on the field more. And Concepcion has a lot of upside. Like, I don't worry about the drops at all. I think he answered that both verbally and how he talked about it and recognized it. He answered it in combine drills. Yeah, he might have more drops than a few guys, but drops are not as sticky as people make them out to be. NFL teams generally don't care about them near as much as people make them out to be. NFL teams would much rather have good route runners, guys getting open, guys making big plays, than worrying about drops. It's Tate than everyone else at wide receiver, in my opinion. Renner's as good as it gets. Hopefully Casey goes crazy. Yeah, I'm very bullish on Concepcion, so I'd be quite happy if he gets a good landing spot and goes crazy. It's the real deal if he gets a good landing spot. Yeah. The animal, absolutely. That might be from looking at the draft like 40 minutes ago, so sorry about that. Love these April battles. I don't know about you guys, but for me, after doing 115 drafts, I think at least for roster construction, I'm the best getting one of these elite wide receiver tiers when Jefferson ends, then hammer 2 running backs. Yeah, I do think there's a drop off from the first round receivers to the second round. I mean, Neighbors obviously is an upside case if he's fully healthy. It's just, that could be a big if. Let's do Bryce Young. Could have waited on like the Rodgers tier again, but this would be a more receivers. Definitely doing 2 tight ends, so we'll see what this team ends up being. I'll take Travis Hunter. I've been working to get that percentage up. Risk, sure, but I'm definitely a believer in his talent. Every pick feels like a smash. Round 2 and 3, receiver in the first 2 and 3 there. I agree. Like if you're especially at the back half, the tough thing is like what to do with JT, because JT and CMC, though CMC's older, they just can be our RB1. So sorry, I know I need to catch up. Swift falls to 6 every time. Feels, yes, that's why he's such a bag of Swift. He just goes way too late to be part of such a great offense. Even with Monangai, in a little bit of a role, he's just too established. And this is, again, not to keep on the Jags situation, but good upside offense. That's a 2-man backfield. Big part of the Jags issue is I don't think Quentin Allen's role is changing at all. Another strategy is taking many of the 3rd, 4th round wide receivers. It's easier to backstack and don't have to take their quarterback round 2 later. Yep. On the right side of the board, I agree. Boy, I'm way behind in chat. grab Hampton Lad and BTJ and set up T-Law, Herbert, Jacoby. That's fun. Can also weigh in Goff, Love too. Agree on all of that. And do an over-under when I get caught up in chat. All right, coming up in a few picks still. Kraft is a big target. Yeah, I've been trying to get more Kraft. Look at boys, Goff throwing for 4,500 yards. I mean, that's honestly to me one of the safer bets. Yeah, exactly, every year. Hoping this because I have 19% of Monroe. 16, yeah, big year for Jameson, I'm assuming. Honestly, both. Williams and I looked at it. Probably the biggest beneficiary after Laporta got injured was actually Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, of course, you have David Montgomery leaving, so any concerns about Gibbs taking a step back again, probably I don't think we should be really worried about. Yeah, I mean, I do not get why Kraft falls sometimes. I don't get why sometimes Fanning goes ahead of him. I get the majority of my Amon-Ra. Oh, wait, I'm on the clock. Give me a second. I need to catch up at receiver. We'll see what gets left for me. Uh-oh. Go Kayshon Boutte first. Even if AJ Brown gets there, I think one of Boutte or Kyle Williams can be still pretty effective. And I'm honestly fine with any of these guys, but I will prioritize Trey Harris. The tough thing is it's hard to see the Tesla upside. Like, he needs an injury. Like, Trey Harris actually could just end up above Quentin Johnston at the end of the year. Tesla only does that with an injury. So we'll take another Harris share, go to the board, and try to sometime catch up in chat. But I really appreciate all the conversation. Love Kraft. Yeah, most consistent. One of the toughest elite wide receivers. Yeah, Amon-Ra, him getting hurt in Thanksgiving and being back the next Thursday, right? It wasn't even, if I'm not mistaken, they played that Thursday. It was insane. Open at 6, CMC at 10, Amon-Ra 11. Only 23% after 250. Wow. We slim Genty JJ mid second too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially JJ, Justin Jefferson. One Jamar Jefferson team. I mean, those are like unicorns, right? Like, having those are so nice. I haven't gone back and looked at some of my early, because at first the tough thing was I felt better once the GM was fired, because that felt like a power struggle last year. And, I just felt better that if they went the cheap route, if they brought in a Gino or somebody like that, then it could have left JJ McCarthy still having a path. And that was just not acceptable. I got a couple of Gibbs, JJs. Wow. Of course, one of them has Rashard Smith. That was a lot of fun. I think you would, if you had around 20 share Rashard. It's fun until Rashard Smith has another JJMC. We got Paulino in here. Good to see you, Paulino. Do you do any NFL draft betting? I don't. I can't in the state that I'm in. I actually did talk about, and maybe next Monday I'll do a show on it. Maybe Megan and I will do a show. That's something to talk about. Somebody else had brought that up. She can actually do betting in Maryland. I can in Virginia. I can do betting, just not NFL draft props. Unless that's changed. I honestly haven't looked this year, but just years past. Like last year, I went up to visit her. essentially around this time last year, and I was able to get in a couple of props because I couldn't Maryland. Recovered a bit. The Mike Washington, a nice Gibbs JJ team, Javonte pick 65. Bert Smith stack, that feels good. It's real good. All right, coming up in a couple of picks here. Zero percent shares when he's going 13 now. I've taken him a couple times in this range. I'm just going to be lowering him. I think he's another guy going to be very landing spot dependent, even more so. And I just don't know how truly NFL ready he is. We'll go trade Tucker. I think I might be done at no, I probably tack on the 9th receiver. Yeah, I need to tack on a 9th receiver. I don't need to go 10, so I'd probably go 2 running backs. Let's see what Sweetleaf does. I'll take Ray Davis for the handcuff. Don't expect a lot of Ray Davis usable weeks, but anytime James Cook misses, I think he's such a smash. It's just there's too many, and the thing to keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of not zeros, but just guys that we're wrong on. There's just happens every year, sometimes due to injury, sometimes due to the draft, sometimes due to late free agents. And I'm trying to be more cognizant of that this year. Limit my zeros, so to speak. And I'm not talking about you zero, but I just don't want these duds. And a perfect example last year was Brian Robinson Jr. And that's one where early on he was going in like 80s, 90s, and then when they didn't draft anyone, he's gotten probably this around like 90, pick 100. Then when they didn't draft anyone, he was going up in the 80s, and I was just kind of out on him because I knew the team. I thought they were going to draft somebody serious. They wait to the 7th round, and then still panned out that way. Like that they just saw more in JCM and C-Rod. So. That's what I mean is like we just have these bets that we make that are, Marvin Mims was another one last year, but pre-draft and even for a while post-draft. And it was like, oh yeah, Marvin Mims is going to have that breakout. He had that amazing week 17. Was not the case. He was clearly the 4th wide receiver on the team. And not ideal. Yeah, especially in the time box, mixing in Mike Washington or any of these guys whose values have drastically changed, I don't think makes a big difference. Thankfully, it wasn't my 18% Diggs. Yeah, Diggs is the ADP. You're not getting the closing line value. And that's why, end of the day, all I care about is can he still pay off that original value? Yes, there's plenty of teams, including my own included, in the big board that got Diggs in the 130s, 140s, 150s. But if he pays off pick 70, I don't really care. That's what I care about the most. The closing line value is nice, and the teams that I did it, great. But I still feel I can contend if Diggs is worthy of a top 70 pick when I took him there. Go Helani. And then we'll just tack on a receiver, I think. Here, yeah, this is another one. Same, like he was going like 120s, now he's going way later. Okay. I'll keep clicking it. Like to me, I just need them to present value. Even if some people got it at a better price, I'm just going to trust my total build. It will be enough. I'm not in the camp who, when we see these big shifts where they're like, oh, you can't draft this guy anymore. He's now going 30 picks higher. Well, it's like, if he can still pay off those 30 picks, okay, I'll do it. Go Antonio Williams to get in time. Okay. Example last year, of course, being Keenan Allen. Like, when he moved up the boards, people saying, okay, some people can't draft Keenan Allen anymore. Why? Like, he had however many catches, 700 some yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns, whatever it was. He still paid off 10th round, 11th round, 12th round value. Did you feel better about it if you had him in the 18th round? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean he was a bad pick. Now, sometimes it goes too extreme. Like when JCM was going way too high and he started getting pulled up to like 7th, 8th round, that just got too extreme. Like what I mean more is like the Manon guy who went from being 18th round to like 15th round. Yeah, I don't care if people got a 3-round discount on Manon guy. If I start to feel that's the direction it's going, I don't want to be totally out on it. I know not everyone views it that way, but I would rather be right about the player and wrong about the draft position than, right about the draft position but wrong about the player. If that makes sense. Like getting the best value in the draft, in the ADP wise, means far less than getting the best value of like where the player ranks is probably the cleaner way to say that. May get in the range in Judy early, but I'm mixing in Devo, Diggs, whatever. Yeah. Naylor's interesting. Trey Tucker is my dog too. Yeah, I think both are a fine click. Maybe the Raiders add a receiver early, but they might not. They might just kind of roll with these guys. Depends on how they see, Besh, how they see Trey Tucker. Devo I like because he is dog and likes. Yeah. I don't think there's any chance Devo or Diggs retire. Yep. With these, there's zero. I have 0 Ayuk right now. I'm so worried that he's going to be going to my Commanders. That scares me, not just for my team, but it also scares me for Jaden Daniels. I know they're friends, but I just feel like I want another weapon for Daniels. Yes, this chat today has been fire. My 9-year-old grandmother has a better chance of walking into a football field or running a post than you touching the football. That is probably true, but see, the problem is I enjoy it. I enjoy talking football. I enjoy debate. I will get better at this. I'd rather click Tillman for it than Judy. Yeah, I know you're joking. Thank God. Third straight draft at the 12-13 turn. Good. No. Hopefully you got some, maybe mixed up some combos there. I wouldn't give too much, maybe if I knew Steve was getting such thoughtful responses. Steve is on to conversation from 30 minutes ago. That is me. Fanspeak on the come up. It is true. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I realized that at first I couldn't, like, on StreamYard, it only looked like I was, it looked like I was at 90% of the comments, and then I realized, I started scrolling down and I saw a huge gap formed up on the scroll bar. It's like, oh, this got bad. Yes, Quid was in here. Snipe, that's cold. He was never catching up. Snipe was brutal. Yeah, that was from the 5th round. Nehemiah Pollard bagged to hit 2, either traded if Love goes there. Still number 1 would be fun to see. 2, I will get to the drafts. I do want to catch up in chat. I will be quick about this. Once Dragon's off, I consider time box. Pollard to Seattle, that would be fun. Or if Titans go there, I'd love Pollard in Washington. Got to work an hour and a half, and I'm making devil's advocate take to mid-April. I have enough tune at ADP 90 to 100 to cover everyone, so not to worry. So I'm doing more zero and hero running back lately. Pollard, RB3. Yeah, game is beatable. Well, let's hope. You and the cord, zero. Yeah, if you're not, we have it's a link in the description, our free Discord. Check it out. A lot of good conversation there. It's damn different than what I do. Kind of want Pollard to go to the Jags. That would be amazing for the bit. It should be in the description. If somebody could check, if it is in the description, I know that's from 20 minutes ago. Hopefully Meg can help out. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Meg. Speaking of, Mike, thank you for being a YouTube member. Thank you so much. You're going to have to remind me your Underdog username. Appreciate that so much for becoming a YouTube member. We got PPR Tyler in here. Let's go. 1,000K subs. Thank you so much, PPR. The Toxic Tower raid last night really helped us out. Really appreciate. Great seeing you. And I know this is 20 minutes ago. Thank you so much. Yes. All right. Just wait to hear the excellent Steelers Stallion backs. Team reviews, 2 extra shows per week. And speaking of team reviews, I need to get to that. Oh my God, I'm so far behind in the chat. Okay, so right on this. I'm sorry, I had to skip a lot of this chat. I do apologize. I will get better at fully getting into the chat. So Mike, if you're still here, please God be. What is, I missed it, Mike. What is your Underdog screen name? Member for 2 months. How do you feel about his jersey number? Oh my God, you're killing me. I'm sorry. I'm skip. It's the only way we're getting out of here today. Game tight, smash the like. There's just no way to catch up. I get so far behind. Oh man. So okay, I will go over my team real quick. I'll go over the YouTube members I know. Mike, if you're in this, please, are you buddy man? I want to say yes. I don't remember. This is bad. All right. We have, I went 3-6-9-3. Burrow, Murray, Bryce Young. Got a little bit of fall there. Don't really care about not stacking them. I'm fine with it. James Cook, Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift, John Coleman, Ray Davis, and then George Shalani. Got the handcuff. Got Barkley, Swift, very strong core. Got a fun rookie in there. Higgins, Mbuka, Jordan Addison, Omar Cooper Jr. Definitely thinner receiver than I typically like. That's why I'm going 9. I need Swift to really be hitting my flex a lot. But got upside plays, Hunter, Booty, Trey Harris, Trey Tucker, Antonio Williams. Hopefully a couple of these guys are hitting. And then 2 tight ends. Kraft, Laporta. I think that's a very strong tight end room. We did have a couple of YouTube members in here. Let's see, 1, 2, I think 3, depending on if Buddy Man's in here or not. And went 2783 here. Lamar, Shuck, Bijan, Travion Henderson, Chuba Hubbard, Blake Horn, Evan Johnson, Sean Tucker, Trevor. I haven't heard it officially, but A-Chain. Bijan. This is kind of what I did in the first draft. Bijan, Hendo, and then some like the mid tiers. I think I had Corn in that as well. So I think the running back room turns out fine. Only 2 quarterbacks, but Lamar is an elite, and in this 4-12, I think it's even better in these like 3-12, 4-12 type. Drake London, Chris Olave, Jordan Tyson, Wandale, So, 4 in the top 100. Higgins a little past that. Boston is now probably one of the better values. I think Surratt's a really good value. And then Vele also with Olave and Shuck. I think that turned out well. You have Mark Andrews stacked up with Lamar, Eli Stowers, and then David Njoku. Njoku will sign somewhere. Stowers will be drafted. I'm kind of worried that Stowers is a bit more team dependent. But in these 412, I don't think that is a big issue. You're swinging for the fences at quarterback. You're swinging for the fences at, running back with big upside play in Hendo to go with Bijan. If that pans out, this team will be fine. Receivers, a lot of big upside swings, but I like that because I think they're just undervalued. JT, and I will look at chat to see if I can figure out if anyone else was in here. Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels said double elite quarterback, Ramondre, Rico, Shard White, Corey Krusky merits at 2 Washington running backs. If they don't take Jeremiah Love, then that probably pays out pretty well. Woody Marks, Alvin Kamara. I like those running backs at the end. So I like how this running back room turned out. Kind of a 0 RB approach. Ramondre, Rico, 2 guys you should feel really good about. Have a chance for definitely some Washington points and maybe all of Washington's points. And then, Marks and Kamara, 2 guys probably a little undervalued now for their projected roles. JSN, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Ricky Pearsall, very strong. Khalil Shakir, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Jalen Noel, and Keon Coleman. I mean, I'm not the biggest Keon Coleman fan right now, but I get it. You have Josh Allen. Maybe they give him one more shot, and it could pay off. And then Brock Bowers, Chig, Dawson Knox, further stacking. For a zero RB team, I'm not the biggest 0 RB guy. I think you did it right. Got good guys, and then you took advantage of getting 2 elite early quarterbacks. I mean, you should have the best quarterback score in this room for sure. And then the receiver room feels really good and stacked up your guys as well. So let me hit up chat. And sorry, I just need to scroll to the end to see, did I miss? Oh my God, the number of chats in here. Oh shit. See, comment, Mike is Buddy Man. Okay, thank God. I thought I was right on that. 2693, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Justin Herbert, Sam Darnold, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Quinshon Judkins, J.K. Dobbins, Keaton Mitchell, Brian Robinson, Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers, Alec Pierce, Quentin Johnston, Rashid Shaheed, Juwan Jennings, Jeremy Bernard, Pat Bryant, Malachi Fields, Rondé Gadsden, Dalton Schultz, Elijah Arroyo. Quarterback room, I think, is fine to just do 2, as I said before, in the 412. Henry, Jacobs, Judkins, a lot of early investment. Dobbins as well. Mitchell's also part of a team stack. Brian Robinson, I think the running back room is very strong. I think Robinson's a great pick, especially in the 170s. Amon-Ra, kind of like the anchor receiver, but Zay and Pierce, both taken relatively early. It's only 3 in the top 100, but QJ is right after that. Shaheed, I think, goes too late now. Jennings is another guy. Free agency could pull him up. Bernard, if he goes in the top 50 picks, he could get pulled up significantly in the draft. And then Bryant Fields, Fields, I think, ran a bad 40 time, but there's still enough there from a red zone role. Probably looking more like 3rd round. But is a 20th round click. I don't think is bad at all. Gadsden, or stacked. Dalton Schultz feels very, like the chaperone of the room. And then a fun 2nd-year guy in Arroyo. I mean, I think it's going to be tough for him to take on Barner, but they did spend a 2nd-round pick on him. So, yeah, I will see this comment when I do a 24-hour stream. I do need to carve out some time for Tuten. But no, I'm glad I got you, buddy man. Thank you so much. I am going to have to scroll down. Oh man, the comments have been fire. Did I miss anything else? You talking money or love? Because Steve hit it big. Somewhere 2016 in the Seniors Cruise. Candyman would be proud. Never asked, what's the most you've won in an NFL season? I've had some success both in DFS and best ball. 2 years ago, I won, hit 50K in the big board and won a total of, between all sites, like 85K. So that was a really good year. Last year was not nearly as good. Was more profitable on drafters than it was on Underdog, but that helps. And 2 years ago, I actually had a couple of big DFS wins, so that was fun. So sorry for not getting to every comment in the chat. First year, quit saying first year pre-draft, becoming a junkie. Nice. Well, welcome to the party. You're amongst friends. All right, I'm gonna get on out of here. I really appreciate all the comments, all the support. We will be back on Sunday. We are Sunday night for our members only stream, and then we'll be cranking out shows next week as well. Enjoy the drafts, everyone. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day. I will catch you next time. Peace.